Okay, we're going to be talking about a lot of things in today's video. We're going to be talking about what the recent comments Skip Bayless made about Dak Prescott. We're also going to be talking about the future of Skip Bayless as far as continuing to work for Fox Sports 1 because his contract is up. And a lot of people are using this time of Skip Bayless as as ammunition for Fox Sports 1 as far as re-signing Skip Bayless. We're going to address all those things, but before we begin today's video, I'd first like to tell you guys, I'm going to go ahead and apologize in advance. It is raining where I'm at, and where I record my videos, I'm not that far from a window, so you're hearing the rain hit the window. I apologize for that. You're just going to have to bear with it. And without further ado, let's get into today's topic. Okay, so basically, Skip and Shannon had a segment where they watched an interview of Dak Prescott, and Dak Prescott talks about his late brother, all right? And I can't say the S word because YouTube don't play those games, so I'm going to have to dance around the S word, all right? So basically, when Dak Prescott was quarantined, he was reflecting and thinking about all the rigors and trying times his brother had to deal with as far as taking care of his mother, because their mother was diagnosed with cancer. And Dak Prescott had a guilty moment, had a what if moment. What if, basically saying he should have been there more often. And while nobody is saying Dak Prescott did anything wrong, me included, Dak Prescott was trying to go on to be the best quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys and also his collegiate career. Meanwhile, his brother had to take care of the day-and-day rigors with his mother. And those day-and-day rigors he had to deal with his mother took a toll on his brother, all right? And Dak Prescott was basically having a moment where a confession, not a confession really, of how much of a human he is, how much of a human being he is. And we are all human, all right? So instead of Skip Bayless, just being understanding, at least understanding, Skip Bayless went over the top rope and basically saying, in a nutshell, Dak Prescott is like a CEO at a Fortune 500 company, all right? You don't want your CEO to have doubts or concerns, okay? You want him mentally sharp, mentally strong, and focused, okay? Basically a robot. He shouldn't have no emotions, all right? And that's how he views quarterbacks in the NFL, particularly quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. And he's a huge fan of the Dallas Cowboys, me included. But the difference between me and Skip Bayless, these guys are human beings at the end of the day. They're not robots. They're not 24/7 eat, sleep, drink football, okay? They're human just like the rest of us, all right? So Skip Bayless went on that tirade. And a lot of people on social media, as well as around the world, fans and non-fans of sports, were going off and ballistic at Skip Bayless. So much so, everybody's doing this cancel movement thing. And now people want to cancel Skip Bayless. People want Skip Bayless removed from Fox Sports 1. Now, when I was watching Twitter, when this first dropped off, people were talking about, that's a shame. ESPN should fire Skip Bayless. And I'm going like, do y'all realize Skip Bayless no longer works for ESPN? But that's how, that's pretty much how it was on social media. Everybody's on this cancel tip, all right? So, Skip Bayless, in a nutshell, thinks like the old heads. And most notably, he relates more to the owners and coaches of the good old boys network, instead of evolving and changing. All right. Football in the beginning used to have leather helmets, okay, without face mask. Okay. Now, if you look at helmets today, they're nowhere near the helmets they were back in the day. All right. So you have to change with the times, and Skip is he's the type of person that is not going to change with the times. All right. Perfect analogy. Bill Polian on draft night, when Lamar Jackson ultimately got drafted by the Baltimore Ravens, Bill Polian was saying he's a great athlete and they should make him into a receiver or make him play defense. All right. Bill Polian couldn't see beyond the trees from the forest of, Lamar Jackson has skills as a quarterback. And this has been going on since the beginning of time, where you had incredible athletic African-American men that could have been quarterbacks, but instead you got these narrow-minded coaches and GMs saying, nah, you're too athletic for that. You should be a quarterback. You should be a tight end. You should be a running back. You should play on defense. You can be safety. You can be a corner. You can be a linebacker, okay? We're going to display your talents, okay? Now it's getting worse. I apologize, folks. The rain is now coming in droves, okay? So basically, Bill Polian is got pretty much the same mindset of Skip Bayless. And Bill Polian even had to admit later on that he was wrong about Lamar Jackson. Well, damn, Lamar Jackson can read coverage. Well, damn, Lamar Jackson can actually throw the ball. Well, damn, Lamar Jackson can be a franchise quarterback. All right? And Bill Polian and Skip Bayless, as well as a lot of these old heads, are cut from the same cloth. All right? So it's hard to change their perception unless they're being pressured into change, or they see for themselves that the opinion that they had was flawed and wrong. All right? So now everyone's trying to cancel Skip Bayless from Fox Sports 1. And take it a step further, Skip Bayless has a lot in common with not only the head coaches and the GMs, that majority are white and that have power and control and influence in the NFL, but guess who else has that same mindset? Media outlets. Do not be fooled for a second that the old heads at CNN, ESPN, Fox Sports 1, NBC, CBS, Fox News, we report, you decide. A lot of these news outlets has that same mindset, that same process, all right? Remember, CBS News was on a hiring spree, hiring women. Do you know how long CBS News has been on air? Now you got women, and then, yes, I know people are going to say, yes, but CBS always had women anchors, okay? Not at the capacity where they have them now, where they're hosting where they're the main host of the morning show, the evening show, all right? They have their own television shows, all right? You got producers that are women. News camera women. So, but it took the Me Too movement for CBS to recognize their errors of their ways. Now, let's get into Skip Bayless. If y'all think that Fox Sports 1 is going to not renew Skip Bayless' contract due to his recent comments about Dak Prescott, you are sadly mistaken, my friend. Skip Bayless has even said worse about LeBron James, Kevin Durant, and a Chris Bosh, Christian Thomas. Skip Bayless has always had this MO of, being very insensitive to today's athletes. Skip Bayless feels like athletes should be like robots. They should be mindless, thinkless. They shouldn't have no feelings, no emotions. That's the type of person you're dealing with Skip Bayless. And the people that are hiring Skip Bayless have that same type of logic and mindset. Okay? So, as far as Skip Bayless goes with FX1, with Colin Cowherd and Skip Bayless, those are really the only two that they're going to pay high dollar for. Now, they would love to get someone else from another sports outlet that has a brand and a name, but they know where their butter is bred, and they know more viewers, more people that click wants to see Undisputed, not to get their daily dose of sports news, but the fact to hear who Skip Bayless is talking about next. Skip Bayless is opinionated. Skip Bayless has an opinion. Skip Bayless was hired for Fox Sports 1 for his opinion, not for his expertise, not for his 30 years of experience covering sports. It's the fact of when Skip Bayless speaks, everybody listen. Good, bad, whatever. This is Skip Bayless. He's not going to change. Now, Fox Sports 1 released a statement. They do not co-sign nor agree with Skip Bayless, particularly his recent comments about Dak Prescott. Yeah, they're going to say that. But subconsciously, they're in agreement with Skip Bayless. They just don't want to let you guys know because they want the audience to be fooled, and you guys continue to watch their shows and make them moolah and show them money. That's basically it. So if you're expecting Skip Bayless to lose his job, you are sadly mistaken. Not over this. Not over this. Not one stretch of the imagination. All right, guys. I hope you can hear me. I'm going to replay this again. If it sounds halfway decent, I'm uploading it, bro. It's your boy. I'm about.